All right, so psychedelic horror movie. That's all I really know about this. What, something about lady puts a curse on some stuff, on a bunch of twigs, and then some things happen. Hagazussa. It's been kind of talked about for months and months. Let's check it out. Deutsch Film und Fernsehakademie. I'm guessing this is a German film. Cue doom metal music. Cue fog machine. Music sounds like stuff I would do whenever I'd mess around with my synthesizer after getting really high. What sort of drones would help me chill out right now? Seems like a long trek just to, like, go sledding, you know? We got some runic stuff there. So it's not just, like, about a witch or something. It's about, like, a Norse witch. You ever had a Norse witch? When they slap a pickled herring in between two slices of frozen bread? What? Hold on. Wait. Captions. Please. What? Watch the captions just say, foreign language. Wow. That guy sounds like he's constantly suffering from appendicitis. You should probably get that looked at. I feel like even if I understood the language, I still wouldn't be able to distinguish. I mean, this guy, he's speaking from his spleen, not his mouth. Stupid kid. I hate it when the weather gets like this. I hate the winter. I really do. I desperately want to live in some place where it does not get like this. It's a cute cat. Neighborhood witch-burning cult, I guess. Goddamn Jehovah's Witnesses. Oh no, it's just you, the horned men. You would think that guys that walk around with horns on their head all day wouldn't have a problem with witches. Are male witches wizards, or are they all witches? I thought they were called warlocks. Or is that like a totally different thing? Not gonna lie, that looked kind of fun. Is this gonna be one of those movies you think that has very little dialogue? She threw up all of her strudel. Hey, you think this guy's a cleric? He seems like a nice guy. He's got some serious Palpatine energy, I think. Give it to me straight, it's the Black Plague, isn't it? Oh, it's a bubo. Right next to her bubo. Oh god, that's awful. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said it. Share a little kiss. I don't exactly know, like, what time period this is supposed to be, but, like, they would have, like, mouth coverings and stuff. I'm not asking for, like, a straight-up Plague Doctor mask, but you would think they would have something like that, you know? They didn't even say anything to her. They didn't even go, well, she's fucked. This lady playing the mother character makes some pretty cool faces. Fair enough.
Albrun.
Albrun, wake up. I'm floating above you because I'm a witch.
Kim Albrun.
I don't know, the doctor kind of said that you should probably, you know, not have any contact with... Alright. Nestle closely to my boobos. You need a Kleenex, Ma? What? Okay, so she whimpers right there. Was there some type of an oil check type of a situation that occurred? Just, I'm going to anoint you with your own hymen blood because I'm a witch dying of the Black Plague, and that's just something we do. Tell me I'm interpreting this correctly, please. I don't... Pardon me. Excuse your wailing. I don't need to contract the Black Plague to seclude. If I got my period, that would be a good enough excuse to seclude. I'd be very afraid of witches trying to give me the double-digit salute. Back to the movie. With that low of a fire, I can only imagine that it must be cold as fuck in there right now. The door open, too. I found my mother's skull. I looked this up also, by the way. This is supposed to be, 15th century. Anytime I can't find Mom, I know she's always hanging out at the witch's mound. Oh, that's like a massively overturned tree or something, isn't it? Alright, Chapter 1. This is gonna have like a bunch of pagan references that I'm just totally not gonna understand, right? I see this is nice. I wouldn't mind living in a place like this around this time of year. Not the winter, though. The winter sucks. But look at that. That looks beautiful. Imagine the privacy. Except for, you know, like the horned guys that would show up with torches every once in a while. That would be bothersome. But other than that, it looks like a really nice place to live, you know? Oh, no. She's got one of those. This is the girl grown up, I'm assuming. Because we got the same cabin. The mother was accused of being a witch. She's got a baby. No man around. How much you want to bet she turns the baby into witch paste? I'm honestly wondering, like, if this movie wasn't maybe heavily influenced by the Vavitch. You know, I'm hearing church bells now, and that cabin looked really secluded.
Geh zurück, da wo du herkommst. Dein verpestete Milch, die wiederkommen.
Oh, she just goes to town to sell the milk. Okay.
Verzogenen Burm. Du wohnst da bei der Heathen beim Bach, gell?
Bye, I gotta go join the Ren Fair. Oh, that one goat's really a jerk. Leave me alone, dick. So do you think the goats just babysat the kid when she brought her milk to town? How long do you think that took?
Albrun!
I can tell you my name.
Der Pfarrer hat mich geschickt. Er hat gemeint, dass du runterkommen sollst. Er darf gern mit dir reden. Ich begleite dich runter.
Baby gets real quiet whenever anybody shows up. It's a little conspicuous.
Wo ist denn dein Mann?
He's the devil.
Es gibt keinen.
Cool old building. Old church. Looks like it's just coming out of the rock. It's built into it. Hey, look at that. You wanted to see me in the ossuary? It's Vicar Bobby Heathen. Kids today.
War ich voller Hoffnung an meine Mission.
This guy doesn't look like he's ever been full of hope for anything in his entire life.
Der morbide Fall deiner Mutter. Eure abseitige Lebensweise.
What's wrong with seclusion? I wouldn't want to hang out with you either.
Eine Berührung von Frevel zeugt.
Don't hang out by yourself. You'll be tempted to hang out with the devil instead of me.
Aller frevelhaften Dinge.
Wow, it's a skull. I never would have known. Like, I'm guessing that's her mother's skull or something. Listen, this is where the first baby came from. You gotta relax. Ew. See, this is why her goat's milk sells so good in town. Because she gives it that little extra added... It's the love that they put in their work. That's how you can tell when a product is, you know... I'm a little uncomfortable here. Are you done yet? Because I gotta go headbutt some other goats.
Ich hab gedacht, ich schau halt einmal bei dir vorbei.
Don't shake her hand. So, your baby looks a little goaty. You want to explain that? Goat. I mean... Martha. See, I don't necessarily trust this lady either, the gal on the right here. They're really playing it off as she's just trying to be, you know, nice lady from town who's trying to befriend the weirdo. There's some kind of weird conspiracy going on with the skull, and yeah, it's just, I don't think anybody necessarily has positive intentions. Hi. Oh, I thought she was looking at me. Albrun doesn't seem like the type of gal who gets out very often, to me, you know? I don't know where she would be meeting a fella. Or maybe it was one of those horned dudes that showed up at her cabin. Maybe it was the old man. It was most likely a goat, dude. Yeah, sure. It was Black Phillip. BBP. Big Black Phillip. The mother didn't seem all that, like, evil or diabolical until after she was already dying from the plague. And you could have chalked that up to just, you know, delirium. We're not exactly seeing either the mother or her engaging in any kind of weird demonic rituals, except for bestiality stuff. You know, that's definitely weird, but, you know, you don't have to be a witch to be engaged in that sort of activity. How's the film going? I'm not sure. It's hard to say at this point. It's very slow moving. By the way, that definitely doesn't look like a comfortable blanket. Aconite is another name for wolfsbane. Thank you, Professor. No, it smells like goat. Would you drink an energy drink called wolfsbane? Or, devil's goat's milk? I'm just sending out feelers, you know, thinking about starting a new business. I think if you called it Anya's goat milk, you would be in danger of being sued. Oh, this is the graduation film of the director, film school. The actors delivered their lines in an Austrian dialectical variant of the German language.
Vor denen die Gottes Licht nicht in ihren Herzen tragen. Vor die Juden.
Pardon?
Und vor die Heiden.
Shit's pretty good for a graduation movie. I don't know how to feel about it yet. You're liking it so far, really? I mean, it's not terrible. It's definitely better than the first movie I started watching tonight. Movies like this that move so slowly, it really all depends on how the story eventually coalesces for me to decide whether or not, you know, I like it. Sorry, is she being anti-Semitic still? Sorry.
Und vor die Heiden.
You're looking at me kind of accusatory. You know, you think they're gonna create baby Hitler from a goat? It's possible.
Und wie Viecher fallen sie über ihn her. Und ein paar Monate später bringt man dann so ein Kind zur Welt.
So she's directly implying that a heathen must have raped her and that's where she got her baby from. And of course, Albrun is too weird and socially awkward to say anything. Like, if you got something to say to me, you fucking say it. I'd like you to meet my simple brother. He'll be impregnating you now. What do you think's gonna happen with the village oaf?
Kim?
Listen, I got a baby back at home. I should probably go milk some goats or something. Help! God damn it, more apples. Ugh, gross. Ugh. Is this what people did back then? Just lie around and get covered in ticks and laugh? Yes, it's very unpleasant. I don't know if Albrun is a good or a bad character, right? Or if they're even necessarily making the distinction. The stuff with the goats, a little weird. But she, even as a child, she feels like she's such like a pathetic, kind of a trapped character. Her mother wasn't necessarily mean or cruel to her until the end, you know, which again, you can blame on delirium. It doesn't necessarily have to be a thing where her mother is an evil witch or anything. They seem to be doing okay up to the point when she got sick. Yes, hapless. She definitely has like this air about her where things are just sort of happening to her and she has no choice but to just take it. The village kids were, you know, throwing rocks at her and stuff. She's got a bad reputation from the get-go. And I never trusted this apple lady from the beginning. As to what you think the oaf's gonna do, nothing good. Let's find out. It's the oaf grope. They're kind of rude. Yeah, to say the least. But I'm still not prepared to completely throw away the idea that her mother was actually a witch. What's the film called again? Hagazussa. What does that translate to, if anything? Hagazussa. The term derives from Old High German Hagazussa, which characterizes a female spirit in Nordic mythology who straddled the fence. What fence? A female spirit in Nordic mythology who straddled the fence. Like in a sexual way? Oh wait, check it out, there's more. From the University of Oregon. The term Hagazussa and its derivatives in Old and Middle High German, Hazesse, Hazus, and Heze, have several distinct connotations, including 1. A female comedian. a slovenly, promiscuous woman, and a cannibalistic, night-flying female spirit. I'm into all of those things. Why is she crying? I don't know. Maybe that goat was her boyfriend. Don't victim blame here. Oaf blame. The oaf takes the blame. And the apple lady, too. They were in cahoots. Like, I can't tell if that's like a didgeridoo or a bassoon, or like bagpipes, something being run through like a distortion filter. Oh shit. Her mom died of the plague. She knows what's up. I think she just effectively cursed the whole village. Or at the very least, the oaf. They did. I do remember that. Not just Jews, I mean anybody. Anybody that wasn't, you know, a member of their stupid-ass church. Is she gonna take a piss on it for good measure? God, that's some brown-ass pee, man. Witch piss. Which totally sounds like a doom metal band name. She's got urine like a fine ale. Dude, this is a movie about witches, presumably. You have to expect some nudity. Weird, I like it. What, the sound, you mean? The visual? She just washed her hair. What do you guys... You guys are easily impressed. They like the boobs. I mean, they're not bad. Oafable. God damn you. I wish they gave us some idea of like what she was saying in that prayer or oh, Blut. I know what that means. Yes. I mean, we talked about the Jewish thing earlier, but like specifically there's like a Nordic aspect to the whole thing. The runes, the translation of Hagazussa, maybe they were just Viking heathens, yeah. Hey, just your neighborhood druid dropping off your dead body. You ordered one, right? Oh, that's the apple lady, I think. Ugh, did you see her pubes? Gross. I mean, they don't like zoom in on it, but you can just see it. It just look kind of crusty. See what I mean? Am I wrong? I mean, well, her whole body seems like it's covered in some sort of a white, flaky crust. What do you like on your plague crust pizza? I'm a big fan of goat udders. I like a goat udder. All right. Ofaroni is officially, that's beyond the pale, dude. Damn, they got a few already. Uh-oh. How long you think she's been shrooming, huh? Maybe her whole life. What a great place to trip, too, you know? Ew. She doesn't seem to be all that distressed, kind of taking it in. I wouldn't say she's freaking out. I do kind of worry for the baby, though. I wonder what's gonna happen. Can that kid even breathe? I love a good bog, you know? Who isn't a bog fan, really? Baby bog baptism? Mom, you're freaking out. You gotta relax, okay? Just listen to my wail. Oh yeah, she's frying balls. For sure. Snacrifice? Maybe. But if so, that kind of sucks because I kind of wanted them to explain exactly where the baby came from in the first place, you know? Although, I guess at this point you can kind of just chalk it up to rape. She had a prior oath situation is the most likely. I wanted it to be a goat baby. No, she definitely doesn't carry herself as a widow. I think once her mom died, it was just her in that cabin by herself. Sounds like my bong, bro. You ever had a gravity bog bong? Some brackish ash water. She gonna see Meg Mucklebones down there? I wouldn't think it's that deep. That's Mom, isn't it? roots bleeding now? I do like the nice dissolving transitions that the movie uses a lot. I would probably appreciate them more if I was high to enjoy the psychedelicness, man. Whoa, it's like a menstrual kaleidoscope. Cool. So I'm pretty sure we did just witness what could either be interpreted as a psychedelia-inspired mishap or a legitimate witchcraft ritual. Dude, that pillow just looks uncomfortable, man. We got the message about the baby sacrifice, all right? I just want to say you're doing a good job. Oh, that's her mom right there.
Albrun.
Mentally ill? Maybe. I mean, there has to be something weird to what was going on with her mother, too, you know? She didn't leave the baby in the bog? Apparently not. Okay. Now I understand. One of the places I saw this movie being talked about was on Reddit, right? People have to make this big deal about having a problem with child death and child violence in horror movies, right? And I didn't get any spoilers for this movie, but a lot of people were complaining and talking about how, oh, there's some things that are just so unnecessary. And now I know what they're talking about. I'm okay with any sort of simulated violence except for the simulated violence of the thing that I don't like. That stuff always bugs me. Oh, I don't like it when kids die in movies. Kids are animals. Oh, it hurts my heart so much. Shut up. You're watching fiction. Fucking, you're the baby. I wish your mother would have taken you to the bog. The Reddit bog. Jaws killed a child. Yes, that did happen. You didn't really see it. It's not the same as looking at your bog baby. Is the movie still good? I think it's pretty good so far. It's just, it's really slow moving, but it's not annoyingly so. Yeah, so clearly this was not something that she meant to do. She was under psychedelic pagan influence at the time. I will admit that babies and animals being hurt is more upsetting to me. Older children, not as much. I mean, I understand, right? If you're into the story, you can feel bad. You can feel... See, this is what's so weird, too. Like a movie can even make me cry. Like, honestly, I've said before, like, I cry very easily. Especially if I'm really into a story. But just the act in and of itself. And I also think it's really hypocritical for people on a fucking horror subreddit who will go out of their way to, like, rate numerically how cool the kills are. You know? If a teenager gets their guts ripped out, and shoved down their throat, that's like, ha ha ha, funny and cool, and everybody laughs and claps. But a bog baby is just too much. Even though they both can logically differentiate that neither thing that they're seeing is real. It's a thing on a screen. Even if it's a really good movie and I'm into the movie and I can feel for the characters and whatnot, there's still an obvious separation. Like I don't go away weeping for the death of this bog baby because I know the baby's fine. The baby might not be fine, but the baby didn't drown in a bog. It's not having leeches crawl out of its nose for real. There's just some weird disconnect that I don't understand between these people who are supposed to be hardcore horror fans, and they'll make jokes about other people dying in movies in all sorts of horrific ways. But then it's almost like they can't wait to tell you how much they hate seeing bad things happening to their bog baby. It smacks of disingenuousness to me. Like they're actually like bragging that they feel something, you know? It's so weird. So weird. I don't understand it. And you know, I tell these people about how Pokemon made me cry, and they'll mock me. The bastards. I don't even like kids. And still, like, I know there have been instances where something really bad has happened to a kid in a movie, and I'll cry about it. But it's not like I don't have to shut the movie off, and I don't have to jump on Reddit and complain about the movie going too far. To me, I think that that's a plus for the movie. Like, wow, the acting and the direction and the writing was so good that it blew past that separation, that partition I had between me and what's going on the screen. And for a second, I felt something real for a fictional character, you know? That should be a plus. Personally, I think it's all okay. I think art for art's sake is fine. I don't care if you consider it shock value or you think there's no merit to it at all, and it's just, that's another thing too that I see on these subreddit discussions that really bugs me. It's like everybody has their little pet peeves about things they see in movies. Like, do they have to have this kind of a scene in it? Why does it have to be this way? Well, because the director wanted it that way, all right? You can like it or dislike it, but it just because you don't see any value in it doesn't mean that they don't. And it also doesn't mean that they have to know exactly what the value of it is that they're doing when they're making it anyway. Like, they can just do it just to do it. Whatever meaning you glean from that experience afterward, that's the reason to do it. Like, that's why art films are made half the time, with no script or, no plot. They're just like, let's throw paint at the wall for 24 hours and film it. I mean, you might not find any value in that, but some person might be eating maggot mushrooms out in the forest somewhere, and they watch the paint drying movie, and it changes their life somehow. Bog baby porridge is ready. Well, not quite. You still need the one special ingredient. So she is going to make some witch paste. Weird. Did I see that correctly? Or just like a slight overlay? I think this is kind of like it's kind of like The Witch, It's kind of like an empowerment type of a thing. I mean, yeah, her child was sacrificed, but you notice, like, when she really starts to embrace the witchy side of herself, she starts to get even. The evil villagers. I mean, who knows? Half that town might have been devastated by now, by the rat. So there's no confirmation, but I'm just assuming that what she just ate was like, the implication is that she just stewed her child. It's pretty difficult to tell what exactly that thing is or was, but I'm pretty sure we're to assume that it's the bog baby. Stewing something for sure, but I think that part there that we saw where her face was superimposed with the mother's face, I think the implication there is when she's adding the final ingredient. It's bog baby soup. Ew, why does it have to be thick and white? Shades of possession? Danzig? She's wailing like a banshee. Well, now she's got glaucoma. Didn't you say that earlier when she was in the bog? I think the hagification is complete. It's a nice shot there with the horizon. Is she burning? Okay, she's just burning then. Alright. Are you a little disappointed? Yeah, there was a few unexpected elements that happened during the hagification process. Is that the end of the movie now? That isn't healthy. Name one thing that happened in this movie that was healthy. This is sort of like, we're only seeing, like, the physical results of whatever sort of ritual was happening, but I'm assuming this is outwardly what her transcendence looks like. Returning to nature kind of a thing. I like the chanting. Wah, 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 wah. It's got the classic message of, like, the persecution of the Christian church against people who had more of the classic folk pagan beliefs. But if you try to make a modern movie and you just display it as like, oh, look at what's happening to these poor heathens, there's going to be a disconnect. I definitely think the whole human sacrifice aspect of drowning her baby in a bog, it certainly muddies the waters. Literally, it bloodies the waters. But as a movie itself, no, it's pretty beautiful. You really get a feeling for the kind of desperate life that Albrun lives, very lonely. The setting is just great, and how they filmed it is great. The natural light is great. Costumes. I hate how IMDb has the synopsis for the movie. Listen to this. After the loss of her tormented mother, the erratic behavior of a 15th century woman living in an isolated mountain village becomes a threat to the safety of her infant child. Fuck you. That's way too much information. But anyway, yeah, I don't have enough historical or cultural context to really understand a movie like this properly, the way it should be, the way it deserves to be understood. But just going off the surface level, I choose to believe in the spiritual side of it. You know, I don't want to think that all of this stuff is just hallucinations. Pre-existing mental... All right, you're just being a naysayer. That's fine. You could certainly interpret it that way. I don't think so. No, I'm right. Go on Reddit. Go on Reddit and tell everyone about how you felt about the bog baby. Right now. I'm upvoting you right now. How do they get permission to film this? How do you go to the people who run this church and go, hey, can we film here? We want to do this like really sacrilegious thing. Can we film our blasphemous movie here? We just finished up with the goat cheese masturbation scene, and we got to film. This movie calls for a lot of skulls. That church already looks blasphemous. No, it's, you don't understand. The body just, it's just clay. The spirits are with God. The Jesus thing here, it makes it all cool. Is this normal? It was definitely normal in medieval times. I mean, you've seen how huge, massive underground catacombs and stuff, like under France and stuff, that just nothing but bones. The decorated Lich Kings, you know? I generally have bad luck with those types of movies where it's like, whoa, everybody does drug and then crazy stuff happens. I have too much of like a history with real psychedelics, to where when it's depicted in some fantastical fictional way, most of the time in movies, they don't do it justice. They don't do it right. I mean, here, it wasn't bad. Like, the stuff that happens here, like where she starts to see the trees kind of warp, and then, you know, you got this floating in bong water type of thing, dissolving scenes on top of scenes. It's mostly the auditory hallucinations, and more realistically, seeing things like kind of shift and writhe and warp around. You know, that's pretty realistic. She has to eat the baby. If she doesn't eat the baby, then she won't catch on fire. That's part of the deal.